All right, listeners. Today we're diving deep into the 41st millennium with Firedrake.
Ooh, yeah.
Get ready for a grim tale of loyalty,
Oh, yeah.
betrayal, and what it means to be a salamander when everything's going to hell.
And believe me, things get seriously infernal in this one.
Oh, tell me more.
We're talking about the Dark Eldar, the Webway, and a crisis of faith that could shake the salamanders to their core.
Wow. When I picked up this book, I was expecting
Yeah.
like the usual salamanders fare, noble warriors,
Right.
righteous fire-purging heretics.
Yeah.
But Firedrake takes those expectations and throws them into the warp.
It does.
It really makes you question what happens when the fire that fuels these warriors starts to consume them from within.
Exactly. It starts with the salamanders on the back foot.
Oh, really?
They've lost 2 captains, which, let's be real, is practically unheard of for these guys.
Right.
It throws the entire chapter into a state of uncertainty.
Yeah, like finding out your power armor has a leak. Unsettling, to say the least.
Right. And it's against this backdrop of loss that we're introduced to Captain Agatone.
Okay.
Of the Third Company, struggling to lead his brothers against the Dark Eldar on the industrial world of Jeviox.
And Jeviox is about as grim as it gets, right? A polluted wasteland where the air itself feels like a threat.
Oh, yeah.
It's the perfect setting for the dark, desperate tone of this book.
Absolutely. Even for the salamanders, who are known for facing down some of the galaxy's worst nightmares.
Right.
This campaign is pushing them to their limits.
Especially Agatone.
Yeah.
He's haunted by the legacy of his predecessors, these larger-than-life heroes who seem to have walked straight out of the Promethean Creed.
Right out of it.
And here he is facing down an enemy that fights like a shadow, picks its battles, and disappears into the webway.
Yeah.
It's a new kind of warfare for the salamanders, one that preys on their doubts and anxieties.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because this doubt, this questioning of their own faith is a recurring theme throughout the book.
Yeah. And nowhere is that more apparent than with Chaplain Elysius' capture.
Oh, man.
I mean, talk about a gut punch.
The salamanders revere their chaplains. They are the living embodiment of the Promethean Creed, the spiritual guides that keep the chapter grounded.
For sure.
To see Elysius captured, dragged into the heart of Kamara,
Oh, no.
is a blow that goes far beyond the tactical.
And it has implications that ripple outward, right? Because he's not just captured.
Right.
He's also carrying Vulcan's sigil,
Oh, no.
an artifact that's basically a direct link to the Salamander's Primarch.
Precisely. The loss of the sigil is a wound to the chapter's soul.
Wow.
It throws their connection to their past, their very identity into question.
Okay, full disclosure time for our listeners. We're about to wade into spoiler territory here.
Okay.
If you want to experience the twists and turns for yourself, maybe skip ahead a few minutes.
A wise choice for any who value the thrill of discovery.
But for those who dare to venture deeper,
Yes.
let's talk about Forge Father Vulcan. This is where the book kicks into overdrive.
When a Primarch's relic is lost and a chaplain is in the clutches of the Dark Eldar, you don't send just any rescue party.
You send in the frickin' Firedrakes, the Salamanders' elite first company with Hestad at the helm.
Who else?
I mean, we're talking about a legend leading an almost mythical group of warriors straight into the webway.
I know.
One of the most dangerous places in the galaxy.
And this is where Firedrake truly embraces the grim darkness of the 41st millennium.
Tell me more.
The webway isn't just some spooky tunnel system. It's a reflection of the warp itself, a place where reality twists and madness reigns.
And it's crawling with things that would make a bloodthirster think twice about asking for directions.
It's a testament to their desperation and their unwavering loyalty that the salamanders are willing to risk everything to enter such a place.
And wouldn't you know it, they stumble upon a surprise they definitely weren't expecting while they're down there.
What's that?
They find another group of salamanders.
No.
Let's talk about a plot twist.
The Black Dragons, a lost chapter.
Wow.
Trapped in the webway, their existence, a testament to the cruelty and betrayal that festers even in the darkest corners of the Imperium.
It's a chilling reminder that nowhere, not even within the ranks of the Astartes, is safe from treachery.
And this discovery raises a lot of questions.
Like what?
Who betrayed the Black Dragons?
Oh.
And could a similar fate await Elysius and his rescuers?
Yeah, that's the thing about Firedrake. Just when you think you're getting a handle on things, the book throws another curveball your way.
And those questions, they lead us straight into the heart of the Razored Veil.
Oh, okay.
Imagine, if you will, a gladiatorial arena designed by the Marquis de Sade after a week-long bender with Fabius Bile.
Now, there's an image I'm going to need heavy bolter-grade mind scrub to forget.
Right.
But you're right, the Razored Veil's where things get really real for Elysius and the other captives.
It's a brutal crucible designed not just to test their physical strength, but their very souls.
Oh, wow.
The Dark Eldar, remember, a feed off suffering. And the Razored Veil is their ultimate buffet.
And it's not like Elysius can just bust out his flamethrower and go full-on
Oh, no.
purge the heretic mode, right?
Yeah.
He's surrounded by innocent prisoners, human soldiers who got caught in the crossfire.
Exactly. This is where we see Elysius's unwavering faith push to its absolute breaking point.
Really?
He's forced to confront the full horror of the Dark Eldar, the depths of their cruelty,
Right.
while also wrestling with his own powerlessness to prevent it.
It's a side of the Salamanders we rarely see the inner turmoil,
Right.
the struggle to reconcile their beliefs with the grim reality around them.
And amidst this chaos, we see the emergence of an unlikely alliance.
Okay.
Elysius, the embodiment of the Promethean Creed, finds himself fighting alongside Zartath,
Okay.
the hardened, almost feral leader of the Black Dragons.
Talk about your odd couples.
Right.
But hey, when you're stuck in a Dark Eldar death arena, sometimes you got to set aside your differences and embrace the madness, right?
Their partnership is a testament to their shared experience. The understanding that in this hellscape survival depends on putting aside old grudges and fighting for a common cause.
And let's not forget about Sugin,
Oh, yeah.
the salamander who was already walking a tightrope over the abyss of his own inner darkness,
Right.
the one prone to fits of rage,
Right.
who seemed one bad day away from going full Chaos Space Marine.
Sugin is a fascinating case study in the dangers of unchecked aggression.
I can see that.
He embodies the very fire that the salamanders wield, but without the tempered wisdom of the Promethean Creed to guide him.
And let's just say the webway does not do wonders for his self-control.
No, it does not.
In fact, and this is another spoiler alert, folks, Sugin doesn't make it out of the webway.
Oh, no.
His disappearance, seemingly swallowed by the warp itself, served as a stark reminder of the ever-present danger lurking within the immaterium.
Right.
It also highlights the fine line the salamanders walk between righteous fury and destructive rage.
And a very fine line it is.
It's a loss that hits the Firedrakes,
Yeah.
particularly Dak'ir, harder than they let on. But they have bigger problems, namely getting out of the webway alive.
And this is where the betrayal we've been dancing around comes to the forefront.
Oh, right.
Remember those hints, those subtle clues that something was amiss within Elysius's own company?
Oh, yeah, we're talking full-on the enemy within territory here, right?
Exactly.
Give our listeners a taste of what we're dealing with.
It's revealed that Brother Serbius Iagon, a member of Elysius's own squad, has turned traitor.
Wow.
He was captured and broken by the Dark Eldar,
Oh, no.
forced to betray his brothers in arms.
Talk about a gut-wrenching twist, but here's the thing.
What's that?
Iagon's betrayal isn't just a betrayal of the Salamanders, it's a perversion of everything they stand for.
Exactly. It strikes the very heart of their brotherhood,
Right.
their unwavering loyalty to one another, and it sets the stage for a final confrontation that's as much about saving their souls as it is about escaping the webway.
And trust me, this confrontation is one for the ages. Just as Elysius and what's left of his squad are about to be sacrificed in the Razored Veil Vulcan Herodstan, and the Firedrakes come crashing in like a righteous inferno. We're talking bolter-fired chain axes, and the Spear of Vulcan tearing through the air like a comet made of righteous fury. It's a scene that perfectly encapsulates the epic scale of Firedrake.
But it's also a desperate struggle against overwhelming odds. The salamanders are outnumbered, surrounded by the darkest denizens of Kamara, yet even in the face of certain death, they fight with unwavering resolve.
Because that's what salamanders do, right? They stand their ground, face the inferno, and come out swinging their goddamn hammers.
Indeed, and while they do manage to rescue Elysius and retrieve the sigil, it's a bittersweet victory.
Oh, yeah, so.
Sugin is confirmed lost, a sacrifice that weighs heavily on the survivors, especially Dak'ir.
Yeah, his death underscores a recurring theme we haven't really touched on yet. Sacrifice Firedrake is full of these moments where characters are forced to make impossible choices, where duty clashes with personal desire. It asks us, how much are we willing to give up for what we believe in?
A question made even more poignant by the prophecy revealed in the book's closing chapters.
Oh, really?
It speaks of Dak'ir as the pharaoh Ignis, a figure destined to bring either salvation or destruction to Nocturne.
Okay, seriously, my mind was blown. This prophecy throws everything we thought we knew about Dak'ir into chaos. He's already wrestling with guilt and uncertainty over Sugan's death, and now it's like the universe itself is testing him, pushing him to see which way he'll break.
And that's what makes the ending of Firedrake so compelling. It doesn't offer easy answers or predictable resolutions. It leaves us with a lingering sense of unease, a feeling that the fires of this conflict are far from extinguished.
So what does this all mean for our listeners who haven't taken the plunge into Firedrake yet? I say this, if you're looking for a Warhammer 40k novel that goes beyond the bolter porn and chain-fisted action, this is it.
Firedrake delves into the heart of what it means to be a salamander, to carry the weight of their legacy, their faith, and their rage. It's a story about brotherhood, betrayal, and the choices that define us in the face of unimaginable darkness.
It's grim, it's gritty, and it will leave you wanting more, just like a good deep dive should. And on that note, we turn to you, dear listeners. Have you read Firedrake? What resonated with you? What are your theories about Dak'ir? And the prophecy hit us up on the Voxnet. Let's keep this conversation burning until next time. Remember, keep your bolters primed, your flamers fueled, and your faith in the Emperor. Well, you know the rest.